Story time. Many moons ago, I worked for a pretty good sized security company. We did event security and unarmed stuff and armed stuff and critical infrastructure and executive protection and all sorts of stuff. And I ran the training division for a little bit. So I was always teaching people variable skills. How to be competent with a firearm, how to make decisions in critical times. Some folks spend a good part of their adult life around a gun or behind a gun. Some of them probably shouldn't have a gun and should remain in the unarmed, static security space. I'm not demeaning them. It's important to know your limits. Limits are different for everybody. For them, it was appropriate. One day, when I was prepping for a class coming up on a weekend, a woman came up to me, an older woman that worked for us. Let's call her Marla. That's a nice lady name. It's a hell of a good lady name, actually. When Marla came out, she said, I'd like to come to the range, but I'm scared. I was like, fair enough. And she said, no, you don't understand. And then Marla gave me a story. Marla had an ex-husband. Marla's ex-husband was a fucking bastard. He could beat on her pretty good, get legged up, do all sorts of unmentionable shit. But some of the most evil shit he used to do was he'd shove a revolver in her face, sometimes in her mouth. Say threatening things and prove he was a bit of a bastard. A lot of a bastard. So she wasn't just like uncomfortable around guns. She actually had a fairly good reason to be uncomfortable around people and guns. So I said, here's what we do. I got a class on Saturday. You come on out. Stay in your car. The noise is probably going to make you a little jumpy, and that's natural. But I don't want you to get out of the car. Just sit there for a little bit. If you feel yourself getting panicky, breathe through it. If you're comfortable, stick around. If you're not, go get a cup of coffee somewhere and breathe through it. When you feel good, roll the window down. And if you feel real good, get out of the car and have a cigarette. Just breathe through it and relax. When you're ready, you come up. This is going to be a step progression. During classes, we teach step progressions of skill. This is just a stepped progression of making you comfortable. A step progression of skill is just getting students comfortable with something they're not used to doing. Having a gun in your hand is not natural. Humans being violent is pretty natural. However, having a gun in your hand is sort of abnormal. So you got to work people into it. So class came. I had 11 students. And there was 13 cars there counting mine. Got out of the car. Saw a lady that didn't get out of her car, and I waved at her politely. Took the students up to the range. Did the morning briefing, medical briefing, safety briefing, briefing, and underpants briefing. Because that's all the stuff you got to do for insurance. And it's just good practice. It's best practices. After a couple hours, I noticed the car was still there. The window was down. Every now and then, I'd see some cigarette smoke come out. After a little while, she was standing outside the car. A little bit after that, the car was gone. She sent me an email. I got it when I was done with class, and she said, I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. And I said, you showed up. That's what I needed you to do. That was it. Step 1. You don't have to get to step 10 today. Next class, I had one extra vehicle in the parking lot again. Window was up for a little while, window was down for a little while. There was a woman standing outside of it, nervously smoking a cigarette. And after a little while, that lady came to the range and just sat. She didn't talk to nobody. She waved. She just sat there. And after a little while, after class, all the students had been dismissed. She said, I think I'm ready to try. I said, all right. So we started her with something small. Not a revolver because she's a girl. We started her out with like a little semi-auto 22 with a suppressor on it. So there was no loud report. Small caliber, so there was no hard recoil. And we just eased her into it. After a little while, she got good. She got damn good. Marksmanship on par with people that had firearms in their hand their entire fucking life. She became a hell of a good armed security officer. She retained her ability to de-escalate situations. She never had to draw her gun at work. And she became, well, she started to glow a little bit. She had more confidence. She had more, she took some of her power back, and it was awesome to watch. After a couple of years, I left the company. She stayed on for a bit, I guess. Every now and then I get an email seeing how I'm doing, giving me an update on a lady we'll call Marla. And it was cool. Every now and then, you know, whatever the social media is, I'll get a message on Facegram or Instabook and just tell me how Marla's doing. And I think that's why I still teach after all these years. The high-speed classes are fun. Teaching people new skills is fun. Giving people a little more power, making them feel a little more confident in themselves, that ain't fun. It's actually rewarding. Every instructor needs to earn a Marla. I've had a few of them, but she sticks out. Until we meet again.